Hey everybody, it's been a minute since I posted a video. I'm sitting here about to go into the office whenever I had a little light bulb go off in my head. And I want to put this out there because I think it's very important. Something you hear all the time is the statement, when I get mad, I say things I do not mean. Let me tell you what that really is. That's called a lie. No, think about it. That is somebody's way of putting lipstick on a lie. When I get mad, I say things that I do not mean. Well, that's the very definition of a lie. So you lie. When you're mad, you lie. Right? And usually, why are you mad in the first place? It usually has something to do with being called out on a lie, or something where reality didn't line up with what they were saying. Right? So they get frustrated, they get irritated, and whenever they say something that they do not mean, that's them throwing you off the scent. Okay? That means you're on your way to discovering the truth, and they throw a red herring. That's what saying something you don't mean accomplishes. That's why it's said to begin with. It's a lie, and it's meant to distract. It's meant to distract. It's meant to change the subject. It's meant to reroute the conversation. It's the red herring effect, and it is most definitely a red flag. You know, you should say things that you mean, especially in a conflict, right? Can you imagine trying to fight and argue your point by saying things that you don't mean? I mean, think about that a second. Who does that? You know, if the pile of laundry really irritates you and you're trying to get somebody to do their pile of laundry, and you say something like, I hate turtles, when really you love turtles, why would you say something that you do not mean that's completely unrelated to a conversation? What does this have to do with anything, right? You gotta watch for that. So if you're dealing with somebody who's a narcissist, who says things that they don't really mean, one or two things is going on. Either they mean it, and then they regret it. So that's the other possibility. They could get so emotionally charged up. It's no secret that narcissists stack ammo from day one. So most of the time, they won't get into a relationship until they have something to hold over you, right? So the majority of the time, a narcissist, with their flying monkeys, their relationships, everything, they don't even get involved with a person until they have something to hold over their heads. Like, for example, yeah, we didn't get along at first, but the way that we met actually is funny because they wronged me, but, I was cool, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. So, like, it's usually, they usually get involved with people who unknowingly wrong them, and then they show how forgiving they are, and then they have that to hold over you for years and years, right? But during the argument, whenever they say something that they don't mean, it's either a lie or they're pulling from that stack of ammo. And so then they say something because they're like, they've been saving up all of these weapons over the years. And so they finally decide to push a red button on on some ammo that they've been storing up for quite some time. And then they throw that out there. And then you're like, why would you even say something like that? I mean, that was years ago, right? You ever have that happen where you're having a conflict with somebody and you're like, what does that even have to do with anything? That was years ago. Why is this coming up now? Well, I'll tell you why. That's them pulling something off the ammo stack and trying to deflect you away from the original cause of the confrontation. So when they say something that they don't mean, it's either a lie or no, they actually do mean it. There's also some, they do that to hurt you, but really it's to hurt you, to get you to back off of attacking their deceptions and their realities, right? So if they're caught in a lie, or if they're caught, in some of their bad behavior, they go into a defensive mode, and that means lying. That means trying to hurt your feelings and trying to distract. They don't care in that moment because they're the ones. They're having an anxiety about whether or not they're about to get hurt, whether or not they're about to get exposed. It's like a damage control for them. I mean, they know deep down that their behavior is bad, that they've been behaving badly, but to keep that from further coming to light, they're gonna say some shit, and then they'll try to deal with the fallout later. After all, it's been they've already proven out that they can do that with you. They can say mean things, they can say bad things to you, and then they can smooth it out later. Because this behavior doesn't really come out until they've proven that. So, that's really about all there is to it. I say things that I don't mean. Well, then you're lying, or you're covering or distracting. You're trying to throw me off the scent. You watch for it. The very second that you press a button, you're going to see all kinds of stuff fly back at you. And once you're under fire, understand this. The more you come under fire, the more on point you are. Don't get distracted. Don't get hurt. Don't get upset. The meaner they get towards you, the more hostile they get towards you, the more they attack you, the more right you are. Right? You're not wrong. The more fire you come under, the closer to the truth you are, because the harder they're working to keep you from it. You just have to recognize it and realize that, you know what, if they say things that they don't mean, well, then they don't mean any of it. Unless they mean it. You can watch them try to pull out all the stops and pull out all the irrelevant shit, like, you broke my curler when we were 13, so what? You just have to stay on point. Keep your focus on what the conflict was originally about, the pile of laundry, and don't get distracted from it. They'll even complain about the fact that you're staying on point. They're like, I swear, it's like once you get something in your head, you just can't let it go. Well, I mean, yeah, I can let it go. All you have to do is put up your laundry. Like, I'm not letting it go because you're refusing to address your pile of laundry. Right? I'm not going to let it go, because when I do, the laundry sits there. And you need to do your laundry. Granted, these fights are never over anything as innocuous as laundry. But I'm just trying to use a common example that everybody knows and understands. We can all relate to a pile of laundry sitting there not getting done and getting frustrated with it and being like, put up your damn clothes. Right? And that's something that is typically resolved easily. You want to do something about your clothes? Yeah, I'll get right on it. And then the clothes get put away, right? You don't say, hey, can you do your pile of laundry? And be like, God, can you just let it go? You never let it go, okay? It's just laundry. And this reminds me of back when we were 13 and blah, That's pretty much what they do. They fire back whenever it's something that they don't want to do, they don't want to address, they don't want to admit. So they say things they don't mean. Well, okay. It's either a lie or it's just stored up ammo. And you can view it as such. And the last thing I'll leave with this, you guys will learn how to categorize what's a lie and what's ammo. Because eventually, they only have so much ammo, right? They only have so much ammo to use, and it's always these threats that they pull out of the bottom of their pocket where they're like, I would hate to have to, tell Bobby what you said. I don't want to have to tell Joe what the things you said. They always start off by, like, so many times it's, I don't want to have to do blank. I don't want to have to do blank. You're going to force me to do blank. If you do A, B, and C, well, then I will be forced. So you don't have any choice. You have no free will. I see. So you have no free will. All of your actions depend entirely on me. Wow, so I have that much control over you? That's crazy how when I live my life my way, it forces you to live your life a certain way. That's crazy. I had no idea I could have that kind of power over anybody. I just thought I had my own separate life. Wow, they don't know how to respond to that. So yeah, keep that in mind. You know, I say things I don't mean. No, you don't. Right? There's your answer for that. Yeah, when I get mad, I say things I don't mean. No, you don't. You don't. You don't say things that you don't mean. You either lie or you say things you do mean. You don't say things that you don't mean. Nobody does that. That's impossible. Right? That's a lie. Or it's the truth. Well, I guess that really narrows it down, huh? So, hopefully you're ending this video less confused than when you started. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And I'll see you on the next video.